Good morning to one and all present here. This is Pratha Choubey from BSc 6th semester BAZ group. My registration number is Y191601004 and this is the mid-second assignment of zoology and my topic is about astrocycle in cattle. This assignment is submitted to Dr. Deepali Jatt ma'am, our course coordinator. In this, we talk about the four main points, that is what is estrous cycle, phases of estrous cycle, stages of estrous cycle, and variability about estrous cycle. Let's understand what is estrous cycle. First of all, the word estrous cycle derived from Latin word and it occur in non-primate estrus animals. Estrous cycle is the recurring physiological changes that are induced by reproductive hormone in most mammalian female. The estrous cycle start after sexual maturity in female and are interrupted by phases of estrous cycle. The cycle continues until death. It is controlled by various hormones. The frequency and duration of the cycle vary in different animals. All female of placental mammal shows these cyclic changes during the reproductive phase. During this, there are changes in the hormone level like ovary, accessory duct, etc. Seasonal breeder exhibit these cyclic changes during favorable season of their reproductive phases, whereas continuous breeder repeat these cycle throughout the reproductive phase as they remain reproductive active throughout the life. Estrous cycle, when we define it, it is the reproductive cycle of female, generally defined as a period from one estrus to the next. This continues until the death of mammal or animal. Let's talk about the phases of estrous cycle. There are two main phases of estrous cycle. The first one is follicular phase and the second one is luteal phase. Let's talk about the first phase, which is known as the short phase because it consists of only 20% of cycle. It is the period from regression of corpus luteum to ovulation. Its dominant hormone is estradiol. Let's talk about the second phase, that is known as long phase because it consists of 80% of the cycle. It is the period from ovulation to corpus luteum regression. Its dominant hormone is progesterone. In this image, you can easily see the level of structure, the level of hormone and the level of blood flow, which showing the two phases, that is follicular phase and luteal phase. The first one showing the structure, the second one is showing the hormone level, the third one showing the level of blood flow. These are the two main phases in the estrous cycle. Let's talk about the stages of estrous cycle. This is also the one image which is showing the follicular phase and luteal phase through the graph. Let's talk about the stages of estrous cycle. There are four main stages during the period of estrous cycle, that is proestrus, estrus, metaestrous and diestrus. Let's talk about all of them in detail. The first one is proestrus. It is the follicular phase where follicles start developing and secrete estrogen. The uterus lining or endometrium start to develop and the vaginal epithelium proliferates. This is the first stage of estrous cycle. Let's talk about the second stage, which is known as the estrus stage. This stage is also known as the period of heat. In this phase, the female is sexually receptive. Ovulation occurs in this phase. The female get attracted to males and is ready for mating. In this stage, the remembering thing is that this phase is also known as the stage of heat. Let's talk about the third stage, that is metaestrous. It is the luteal phase where the corpus luteum develops from the ruptured follicle after ovulation. The fourth stage is diestrus. In this, the corpus luteum produces progesterone hormone and it prepares the uterus for implantation in the absence of pregnancy. The corpus luteum degenerates. Here the uterus lining is not shed out, reorganized for the next cycle. There is one phase which is not count in this phase because this is the resting phase and known as anestrus. Let's talk about the phase 5, that is anestrus phase. This is the resting phase or the phase of sexual inactivity. It is induced by pregnancy, lactation, illness, age, and season or time of the year in seasonal bidder. In seasonal bidder, it is controlled through the exposure to light that influence the release of melatonin from pineal gland. These all are the four stages which is very important in estrous cycle, and these stages occur every estrous cycle in cattle. This image shows you the proestrus, estrus, diestrus, anestrus, pregnancy and estrus level where the ovulation, conception, seasonal, non-seasonal changes are occur. This graph shows the stages of estrous cycle. Let's talk about the variability of cycle. Estrous cycle variability differ among species, but the cycle are typically more frequent in smaller animal. This is the variability of cycle. This image shows you the carpus luteum, the ovum, the ruptured follicle. This all shows you the evolution stage, the developing stage, the mature carpus luteum, and when it get ruptured. This is the graphical image shows you the carpus luteum ovulation and the whole estrous cycle. This is all about my topic. Thank you very much.